Is Instagram being?
My computer's being difficult.
Okay.
Because it's a Mac. But we are on Facebook. We're on Twitter. And we're on YouTube. We're good to go.
Lit. Yes. Hello, interwebs. Welcome once again to another Berkeley Poetry Slam. Yes. Gang, 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 gang. Boom, 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 boom. Gunshots. Fireworks, fireworks. Yes, people. Welcome. We are back at it again for another show in March. Wow, that tastes disgusting in my mouth, seeing as we are still online in March of 2021. But we will stay online for as long as we need to be. So yeah, we're bringing poetry right into your front door. But before we begin with our show, I have to first thank the people that made this possible. And of course, those are our supporters off on Patreon. Patreon is an amazing platform for us to be able to gain community support for the work that we do. It is super, super rewarding to be able to run 3 poetry slams in the Bay Area and provide 17 poetry events, not 17, 7 poetry events and 7 writing workshops every month. But all of that comes with a huge budget. And we don't always have the ability to pay that ourselves out of the pockets of volunteers and, quite frankly, poor ass community organizers. We are all working class. And that is where you can come in. You can go to patreon.com/richoakevents to support us monthly. And I'd like to thank some of our supporters directly. In particular, Renee Edmonds, Emily Chow, and Calla Lily for being regulars. I'd like to thank Jessica Kozakit for sponsoring one of our weekly workshops. And I'd love to give a special shout out to Alice Grimm for pledging $100 a month in support of one of our venues, the Allen Buford Center for Justice. Once again, if you'd like to get involved making sure that the work that we do in the Bay Area stays sustainable, you can go to patreon.com/richoakevents to donate anywhere from $2 a month to $100 a month. All of that goes right back into making sure that we can pay features, pay artists, pay winners, and make sure that we are able to put these programs for free to people who use our platform as well as people who view our platform. Lit. This is all possible because of support from viewers like you. Thank you. And with that, we are ready to get into it. We have a great night, a great line up of poets. We have an amazing feature, Akilah Toney. But before we start our slam, we have a few ground rules. First, for our poets. Y'all have rules. Y'all can't come up here and just act a fool. And your rules are these: no props, no costumes, no musical accompaniment, please, no nudity. This is a family show. But more important than the no nudity rule is the time limit. You have 3 minutes with a grace period of 10 seconds to say whatever you want. After 3 minutes and that grace period of 10 seconds, you will be deducted points by our scorekeeper, Colin. After 4 minutes, we normally play you off stage with our DJ, Arvind. Arvind has the day off. So we are just muting people. It's going to be awkward. It's going to be choppy. But most importantly, it's going to be painful for me as a host. So please do not go over 4 minutes. Lit. Next, for the judges. Judges, thank you so much for being here tonight. Y'all have the hardest job because you have to give your opinion on the poetry openly. You'll be judging from a 0.0 to a 10.0 scale, 0.0 being the worst thing you've ever heard in your life. You'd rather rip out your ears, cut out your tongue, and feed it to your dog than ever listen or speak about that poem again. A 10 is the best thing you've ever heard in your entire life. You would rather rip out your ears and cut out your tongue if you were told you could never speak or hear about that poem again. You'd rather not speak or hear. Point being, there's not a lot of zeros and there's not a lot of 10s. score accordingly. There's this thing called score creep, where as the night goes on, and we might get into the vibes, get into the aesthetics, the poetry starts sounding better, but that's not fair for the people who went first and were just as good as the people who went last. So to help mitigate that, we're going to have a sacrificial poet. They're not going to be competing, but you are going to score them as if they are. And any poems you like more, score them higher. Any poems you don't like as much, score them lower. Lit. And then next we have for our audience, yeah, you sitting at home, I'm in your space, but yeah, you have rules too. First, like, share, subscribe to our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook at the Berkeley Poetry Slam. We do this every week. Every week? Yes, every week. And well, every week until we take a break, because we be tired, but like every week. But like every week we have something going on, and you don't want to miss out on that just because you weren't tapped in. So tap in with us. And then next, comment on the feed. Let these poets know how much you love these poems. Be more enthusiastic than you would be at an in-person slam, because you're not in person. I know I personally go back and look at the comments and see what people said, and it always amazes me and warms my heart how much love y'all show in the comment section. So please keep it up. Lit. And then your next rule is be amazing. Do something you love today. Lit. Ooh, and then of course there is our time-honored tradition. It is word of the day. Word of the day is a gimmick, a tradition, however you want to put it, where we force poets to take a random word generated by the Merriam-Webster word of the day, and they have to jam it into their poem for an extra point. Judges, don't worry about the extra point. Our scorekeeper will handle it. Our word of the day today is contaminate. Pretty straightforward, but I will still read the definition. It is to soil, stain, corrupt, or infect by contact or association, to make inferior or impure by admixture, or to make unfit for use by the introduction of unwholesome or undesirable elements. If you use this word successfully in your poem, you gain an extra point. Judges, again, you don't have to worry about that, but for all of y'all sitting in the Zoom, sitting at home, if you hear the word of the day, type it in the comment section, word of the day, or be like, woo, W-O-D, or something like that. Sometimes our scorekeeper doesn't catch it, and it's easier to look in the comment section and be like, oh, yep, somebody said that they used the word of the day, as opposed to asking around and like maybe getting an unreliable narration of what actually happened. So yeah. Word of the day, lit. And of course we have our poets, our order, our list. So we have 4 amazing poets competing tonight, and they shall be competing in this order. We have Chardonnay, we have Mai, we have Alex the Great, and then we have Nicole Tracy. Lit. So we're gonna have our first round, our feature, and our second round. Really excited for this. Give me 2 seconds. Sorry, I was securing our sacrificial poet. Lit. So I think we're ready to start our show. Are we ready to start our show? Make some noise if we're ready to start the show. Sounds like we're ready to start our show. So on deck, we have our first poet of the night, Chardonnay, but I need y'all to give maximum love for our sacrificial poet, warming up the judges. Give it up for Tina.
Go Tina. Go Tina. Go Tina. Go Tina.
See. Oh, we're on count. Sorry. I love pulling up poems because it's always
Wait.
They're like, wow. Deep East. Come on. Scroll to the bottom. Scroll to the bottom. Scroll to the bottom. Scroll for the bottom. I hope there are enough bones in my words to hold themselves steady. The San Andreas spotlight has prepared them for something of this magnitude. They will shake but never misremember the stomping grounds I blossomed from. They feel like someone else's lifetime ago. Of someone's old Nike strung on pitching chords in deep East Oakland. I hope the sun hangs there over those chords and never ages. I hope for a freeze frame of time when everyone was under their own ceilings and the children commemorated on the closest corner with a busted fire hydrant and called that a swimming pool. I know the joy back then was enough to fertilize our front lawns for the flowers and our produce in our gardens. I hope whoever's alive between these words are alive because I am a result of the legacy. That they always grant me guidance. Death, always the final rope. Doesn't mean we can't turn stones while we're still alive. Pay respect to all the ghosts that come and go. This is still their home too, as much as it is ours. My wish has always been to elicit the desire to live in my writing. There's a lifetime spent with living here and honoring the dead like it's a duty to fall in a cycle. I'm just starting my ancestor work early. My words, duty-ridden, warrior ready. I am not dead on arrival, just always familiar with its presence. I hope these words make a ghost to me. Hope these bones are the only words I have left when I'm gone, that my body is compost enough to be claimed by soil. Some time ago, I buried my heart under the roots of an oak tree. Said this is where I will stand. Long after I fall, I am done wrestling with my purpose in this world. I'm just gonna keep you back even after I'm gone. I'm sorry if that comes off as selfish. I came from a city where bodies were dropped at the gates of my school. I'm just aware of how much infinity is snuffed from us. All the breath we draw and is still not heard today. I promised I would own each breath because the work is never done. I hope you keep writing. Hope you die with ink spilling from you, seeking revenge, your truth raw in your throat. So when the autopsy comes, they won't know what to make of your eternity. Hope you make this final choice, even when they try to rob it from you. And trust me, they will always try to rob it from you, but they won't ever unearth you unless you let them. I hope you still blossom in your metaphor. Hope you sign yourself into everyone's memory. Hope someone honors your ink and makes a painting, a canvas, a mural out of you. I hope you cradle your writing when you grind across tectonic plates. Your bones are always ready for this aftermath. Hope you stitch your story in the sky out of reach. All dead poets, a symmetry of their life told in their truth. Keep writing.
Gang, give it up for your poet, Tina. Gang. Judges, that was your sacrificial poet. You are now experts. Please send those scores to Cullen if you haven't already. Gang. So we had our sacrificial poet. Yeah, we're all warmed up, ready to hop right into this slam. So on deck, we have but give maximum love to our first poet of the slam. Give it up for Chardonnay.
Hey.
Come on.
Let's go poet.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only female spiritual being is the manly woman. My mother, Oshun Iwuji, has two icons, one male, one female. There is only one she, and the two reside inside of me in her likeness. So when I say that I am a woman, I mean I am her daughter, the river that will birth and bless as swiftly as it will destroy you, the machete used to kill and to cultivate. Your actions will choose which hand you will receive. This language has contaminated my tongue, denying me the words to tell you that I am woman, daughter, and female, but always manly. You say woman meaning docile, meant to serve all but herself, subservient, less than. You say mammy, you say black woman meaning mammy, meant to mule and pander. Woman is always desperate for a man regardless of her ethnicity. Even when the she is spoken of without hostility, you do not understand the flow of her river. My waters change more than they stay the same. The passion that goes into cooking with the ancestors is the same reason I keep a machete on their altar. You cannot mute the intensity. My gender is creation. Paper meets pen. The words are the page and the ink, and neither of these things. Egg meets sperm. From the moment of conception, how quickly I became more than I was, my parts becoming one, the man and the woman forever inside of me, until you cannot tell them apart. My womb can never be denied. It is the most godly part of me. Thank you.
Yay. Give it up for Chardonnay. Yes. All right. And for reference, Tino, our sacrificial poet, got a 25.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet and not the points. Yes. Lit. Before we continue, I want to give a special shout out to our GoFundMe. Yes, we have a GoFundMe. For those of y'all who have been keeping up with Rich Oak, and y'all know, for those of y'all who haven't, y'all are about to find out, we have been doing free online spoken word events, free to register, free to watch, free to participate, spoken word poetry slams for a year now. It is not free to run these shows. We don't just run the Berkeley Slam every week, but we run the Oakland Slam every third Tuesday and the Alchemy Open Mic every first and third Saturdays. It costs a lot of money to run those shows, about $25,000 a year, which is only become a problem during COVID when we don't have our normal sources of revenue like ticket sales and in-person donations. So we started a GoFundMe so we can continue providing this platform for free, because just because we're broke doesn't mean that a poet should have to pay to be here. Or just because we're broke doesn't mean that a poet shouldn't be paid to be here. So we want to still honor our mission, but we can't do that without help. So if you, I will be posting the GoFundMe in the chat, as well as it will be in the comment section of our live stream. If you can donate, share, donate, and then maybe share again, that would go a long way in making sure that we can continue paying features, raising money for other organizations that are doing amazing work in the community, paying poets, paying organizers, paying educators to be not just artists, but leaders in the community making active change. So if you fuck with that mission like I do, you can visit our Linktree, linktree.com/richoakevents. You can also go directly to our GoFundMe link that will be posted in the comment section. All of that support is going to go right back in to making sure we can continue running these shows for free for y'all, even if it isn't free for us. Lit. That being said, we're going to move on to the show. So on deck, we have Alex the Great, but give maximum love to your second poet of the slam. Give it up for Mai.
Let's go, Mai.
Woo!
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. This is Ode to Water in 5 parts. 1. Today I only had to get out of bed twice, and that was admirable. Today the withdrawals were half as bad as yesterday. Yesterday's the second day into avoiding 6 feet deep 8 ODs the way we got here in the first place, though. At the emergency room, they give me at least a gallon of water. It probably saved me, still left a bitter taste in my mouth, though. Throat still dry, still thirsting for more contaminated pill-taking water. I'd like to think this was my choosing, but only my dilated pupils and the gods know the truth of the matter. Whenever I choose to die, someone chooses otherwise for another day. That's never mind, I'm alive again. 2. I read my rights every morning and night with my meds. The nurse usually checks my tongue by the 3rd paragraph of the introduction, so this is my introduction. I am an addict. My rights include claimed humane treatment and access to a telephone. My rights do not include drawstring, shoelaces, or peace of mind. I am nameless psych ward patient in room 1305. No allergies known. The nurse tells me I am mistaken, but I wonder how many times I have been mistaken for water, mistaken for a body that moves whenever it is pushed, mistaken for a body that drowns itself in itself, mistaken for a body that does not know the word no. 3. I only had to read my prayers 5 times today. 4 positions I fell asleep in, then cried 3 days straight. Still too queer for the nurses to spit out my real name. I will drown their mouths in honey until they can cough up the sound of a name so holy it will never come from scratchy-throated mouths again. And for the first time in a while, I don't feel like dying. That's 50 times I've fallen in love with the idea of living for. Chapel pews rot until I come home to them. They wait for the day I can finally feel at home in a seat made for worship. I hear hymns of healing, still not enough to have saved me the last 12 times. The sermon ended with mention of a river, a stream only the mud could find, so I became the mud, had to seek out every piece of me in hopes of getting it back. I haven't found all of me yet. I'm still trying. I've learned to pray, head straight, eyes open, arms anywhere, the way I feel something all around me, hoping it's not something sour. 5. And now I'm starting to wonder how many times I can be mistaken for water. How many times I can shapeshift into whatever you need me to be. How many times you will fold this body while pipes grow around me and I shrink, and I shrink, and I am barely water, more pieced together than peaceful, still barely water. Maybe that's the truth, though. Maybe I am water. Maybe I'm ocean, though. Maybe I'm tsunami. Maybe I can be a body that does not know forgiveness. Thank you.
Gang, give it up for my.
Woo, go mine.
I heard one person, so we're gonna try that again. Give it up for my.
Woo.
There we go. There we go. Remember the rules. Make noise. Make noise. Make noise. It's mad hard to get up in a room full of strangers in person to spit your truth. It's even harder to do that in an isolating ass Zoom room that lacks both empathy and emotion. So the least that we can do is add that empathy and emotion by showing our support vocally and in the comment section. Oh my goodness. Now I see why y'all were so quiet. Y'all were so loving in the comment section. I almost feel bad, but I told y'all to scream, so I don't know what to say. But yes, and for reference, Shar got a 26.7. Again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry. Fuck the scores, we love the poetry. Fuck the scores, we love the poetry. Yes, y'all are gonna hear me say that a lot tonight. Yeah, we can make a little game of it. A call and response. I say fuck the scores, you say love the poetry. But on deck, we have Nicole Tracy, but give maximum love to our third poet coming up in the slam. Give it up for Alex the Great.
Alex.
Let's go.
That is not Alex the Great.
No.
Sorry.
With any real game, you got to know how to play by the rules. I found that the game of life is just like a game of dominoes. I learned everything I could about growing up from it. See, dominoes be essential to any Black family gathering, a staple part of the culture. You know, in my family, finally being allowed to sit at the dominoes table is like a rite of passage. The reward at the end of your coming of age story, you need at least 10 good years of experience to get into any grown folk conversation. Can't still be wet behind the ears, smelling the Similac on your breath, because you will get checked. Children know to stay in their place. Play their position. Don't be slamming doors when you still working to get out your mama house. Don't ever think you got too big when you start stacking chips. Anything that come easy can also be easily taken away. All money ain't good money, yeah, it all spin, but you may do better in the end considering that future investment. Just know, in a game like this, you keep playing with bones, you'll have to dig in a graveyard and often come up holding more than you can fit in your hand. Don't be greedy. Independence is everything. Stay aware of your surroundings. Find yourself with a man who keeps riding your back, I mean your coattails. Don't be afraid to lock up the board, I mean your heart. Dominoes in our house be a feminist revolution. It's nothing out of the ordinary for women to lead, to be the spinner, flipping traditional family dynamics on his ass. We count up our own money while the men wash the dishes, do the laundry, tend to these babies, and still work. A true partnership requires sacrifice, but also compromise. You got to know what's in your partner and your opponent's hands. Stay 2 steps ahead, but remember, intuition wasn't given for you not to use it. Keep reading more into a situation, you'll end up losing, or you'll find what you didn't want when you started snooping. Basically, trust your first mind. Always know You study long, you study wrong. And even when you ain't got the pen in your hand, keep a close eye on that score. Domino, motherfucker.
Wow.
Period.
Gang,
Yes.
gang.
Damn.
Give it up
go.
for Alex the Great. And for reference, my got a 26.2. Once again, fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the points. Slam is just a trick. Haha, I surprised you. You thought this was going to be like a silly game on the internet, but it's really art. Haha, I tricked you into watching art. That's what this is about. Watching live art, that's amazing. And everyone here is amazing. And we're going to have on deck, we have our feature, Akilah Toney, but give maximum love to our last poet competing in the slam, in the first round of the slam. Let me not act like this is over. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Hey, Nicole.
Whoop, whoop.
Mic check.
We can hear you.
Yes.
New shit.
News.
New shit.
I'm hungry. No, I'm thirsty. Eat more water, stay hydrated, and pretend it is fullness. Can drowning be the same thing as disappearing? I can tell you the exact number of bites it takes so no one is suspicious. I can show you all the ways to stay busy and forget the last day you ate, but remember exactly what you ate. I call it a punishment because I was too afraid to ask for help, too afraid to tell you where the bruises came from, because everything is ugly when you're ashamed, and when you are ashamed, you think you contaminate everything. They prayed to the ones who hurt them in the hopes that it wouldn't hurt tomorrow. Every tomorrow was tomorrow, and every tomorrow hurt more. Every tomorrow sneered, it will always hurt. Don't you see that's what you've done to yourself? When you can't see yourself, it is easy to forget how you've hurt yourself, to forget what is wrong, but still always remember why you did this to yourself, and why you can never seem to look and find yourself again. 2, a perfectly portioned erasure. No, eat. Hydrated fullness is not the same thing. Disappear so no one is suspicious. Stay busy, forget you ate, call it punishment. The bruises are ashamed. It would hurt tomorrow and hurt more. It will always hurt. It is easy to forget yourself. Wrong. Always remember to look and find yourself again.
Oh, thank you. Whoop, whoop.
Gang. Give it up for Nicole Tracy. Yes. Lit. That was our last poet of the first round. Judges, if you could send those scores to Colin like as quick as possible so we can get that that score ready. But for reference, Alex the Great got a 27.0. Again, fuck the scores. It's all about the poetry. Give it up for the poetry and not the points. And speaking about poetry with absolutely 0 points, but also like all of the points because she's our feature. Yeah, we look. Akilah touched on my 2 weeks ago. Was it something like that? Like 2 weeks ago. And I was like, I think Akilah is featuring in a couple weeks when I saw your name pop up. And I was like, okay, I'm really interested because I hadn't heard your poetry because, you know, I'm based in the Bay Area and based in Louisiana. And then you got up here, I was like, March is finna be lit. So if y'all saw Akilah compete a couple weeks ago, y'all already know. If you don't know, you finna learn today because Akilah Toney is an 18-year-old published writer, poet, dancer, photographer, and youth advocate from New Orleans, Louisiana. From writing and dancing at the age of 10, Akilah uses the arts as a means to amplify her experiences at the intersections of young Black womanhood in the South. Akilah has been honored as the 2016 Pizza Poet Laureate of New Orleans, the 2018 Grand Slam Poetry Champion of New Orleans, a recipient of 2017 and 2018 National Scholastic Gold Key Award, a 2018 American Voices Nominee, a 2018 National Student Poet semi-finalist, and the 2019 Regional Scholastic Arts and Writing Gold Key and Silver Key Award. Akilah has been featured in 826 New Orleans publications, Umbra, Medium's Heated Magazine, NOLA.com, Vogue.com, the New York Times, and I Am New Orleans Poetry Anthology. All of that is to say Akilah is doing a lot and is doing amazing at it. I'm going to let her work speak for itself. So I need y'all to give like the loudest round of applause for our feature tonight, Akilah Toney.
Woo! Hey y'all, I'm Akilah, I think, but y'all know that already. Earlier I did a workshop about visiting our childhood and exploring our childhood through poetry. And I wanted to share something around that. But first, I want to thank Berkeley Slam. I want to thank Reggie and Tino and Prophet and everybody for inviting me to this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful space. Although y'all in Berkeley, I'm so happy to be welcome from the South. And I appreciate this space. Always sharing work, always listening to artists. So shout out to y'all. Within my workshop that I did earlier on childhood, I don't know about y'all, but who else be using their notes app to write little poems, little quickie poems? Like, to me, I always say poems in the notes app is like the situationship for poems, and then poems that you put on Google Docs or Word. Now that's official. That's the real relationship. Y'all about to get married. So if it's okay with y'all, I want to share some of my situationship poems. And one of them popped up because I was actually trying to find, it's 11:11. Okay. I was trying to find a different poem, but then this childhood poem came up. So I guess it said, girl, you better recite me. So it's unfinished. I wrote this at 12 a.m. I don't know what state I was in, but here it is. We are still like children, pondering at the mirror, licking and pressing our fingertips against an image of ourselves, swirling in a thick glass. We look for the mirror. We call the mirror and ask it to play, but careful. Mirror may cut us with an image we don't want to see. Mirror shows us images we try to hide with the closing of our eyes. Mirror says, no more fondling with the parts between our lids. It's time to see some new colors, baby. Raise our palms to ourselves and see ourselves. We play with mirrors. So that was my mirror poem. Very reminiscent of the discussions we had earlier about our childhood and mirrors and looking. And this is another late night poem dedicated to Lilac Wine by Nina Simone. Miss Nina speaks with me over her piano. I take a sip of her lilac wine, and we sit under oak tree shade. Thigh to thigh, backs to trunks, we spoke together of our haziness. And now the lilac wine is but a purple mirror. We spoke of how love has left us, but bears no title of mister. How the lovers who left us were no people at all. just glass splinters of ourselves that cut too sharply to be growing pains. We soak the creases of our lips in a lavender pool of spirits, swish it in our mouths, let the spirits play and hide with our cheeks. We spit out the wine onto the oak roots. Libation. The mirror has broken. Miss Nina has left. And so that was a poem that I wrote when I was listening to Lilac Wine by Nina Simone. And along with this very dreamlike state of the poems that I've been showing you all, I want to share another one that is also similar to that with Black Alchemist. Black Alchemist. Black man, hold on to imagination, for they cannot take freedom of thought and desire. The sweet yam sun crawls through metal barred windows. Clouds freckled with bits of cinnamon glide and pass by. He says sun rays probably taste like the Kool-Aid mama used to make. He stares at his baby girl on the concrete wall. She just grew her first tooth, took her first wobbling steps, now graduating high school, all in one wrinkled photograph. Breakfast is served through the hatch. He likes to think mama made it. With her Sunday Marvin Gaye playing in the back, hot buttery grits on the stove, with spicy sausage on the side, drowning it all down with daddy's hot decaf coffee. He ponders at sunrise because his lucidity remains unshaken, yet to be milked, pimped, and sucked into a vacuum of insensate feeling. A flattened afro rests on the cot, conjuring up possibility in a penitentiary trying to penetrate a warm maroon love he possesses. Call him the Black Alchemist, boiling his sorrows, transforming them into cooling fantasies, soothing his ache for another world beyond gray cell walls. So that was another poem of mine that's very reminiscent of dreams and Afrofuturism to me, and also alchemy and how Black people, Black men, and specifically Black women are alchemists by nature. We are alchemy by nature. No studies needed for that. And also because it's Black Women's History Month, I want to share a little love poem that I wrote. Oh man, okay. Okay, found it, sorry. When we squinted our eyes at night, my afro puffs turned to Saturn, with brown coils floating in my hair like moons. Your braids were rifts in the Milky Way. Your new growth was where new stars were forming. We kissed and your eyes browned to Venus. Our hands were swelling with the heat of solar flares. The swirls in my baby hairs held thousands of galaxies, and you traced them on my forehead like God did. You gifted me Sagittarius's arrow as an Afro pick and told me that I was a living ancestor. The third ward streets became Orion's constellation, potholes filled with balls of gold purple light. In the black of the night, we were blacker than ever. All right, my Berkeley friends, how much time I got on the clock?
Like 2 more poems?
Okay.
Yeah.
If that's okay, I want to switch gears from the dreamy part also to another part of my poetry, in that what's been coming up for me is alchemy, but also learning to speak up, learning to be assertive, and also within this Black Women's History Month, learning to use my voice for my own power. And a poem that has helped me through that is called Insecure Words. I don't know if y'all have heard it. Okay. Good Lord, where did this poem go? My Google Docs is so unorganized. Okay.
It dead ass be like that sometimes.
Okay, y'all, I got it. I'm gonna get it together, I promise. No, I'm not. I'm lying to y'all. Look. Insecure words. Your prestige dialect needs more seasoning. Me adding my own twist does not subtract my sentence reasoning. Twining my Black vernacular like my aunt's hips at a family get-together. Gentrifying my speech. Raising up the prices for you ain't, and moving in you are not. Flat ironing my tongue to suit them, combing out my curly vernacular, massaging relaxer through my talk. I kept the burning cream on my gums a little longer so you could understand me. I let the accent escape my mouth. I rhythmized my tongue with the beat of drums and the stumps of my brown feet. I replaced himself with himself. I put the beat after I say he or she. Examples like, my people be inventing words for survival, or me and my niggas be rapping, then write 10-page essays the next day, or how about I be pimping words and making English my bitch. I move and hypnotize you with words not in your vocabulary, make my speeches gyrate like they dancing a big Frida, pronunciate my vowels, let them syncopate with the chatter of my teeth. I pulse ears to my mouth, regular with the wildness of my tongue. And the next time you correct me with red lines under my words, under my name, or try to embarrass me on my dialect, best believe I'ma say some shit you ain't never heard. So that was Insecure Words. Thank y'all. Okay, I want to leave y'all with the last one. That poem was a little, so I want to leave y'all with an ancestral poem. I want to follow after my girl, Chardonnay. The chariot has swung and risen. Notes of Parliament wrap around milky stars. Rays gyrate and groove, rejoicing with people sweet and colored, like banana foster syrup. They soak their bodies in white linens, sink their hips to rotate with the earth, and laugh wide like their grandmothers. Oh, a joy they thought was unattainable. Oh, a rage they thought was never to be seen. The liberation was plentiful. It washed over their bodies, caressing their welts, cooling their skin and easing their scalps. A christening, rebirthing a new ephemeral eternity for their children's children to feast on, to bite, and let its glowing pulpy succulence drip down their brown cheeks. For the children would too soak their bodies in white linens. For the children would too laugh wide like their grandmothers. They already have. So again, thank you, Berkeley Slam, for inviting me. Thank you all to the poets who are spitting some real stuff tonight. I hope from my poetry you get a little bit of sense of some childhood, some ancestral love, some assertion, and happy Women's History Month to everybody. Happy Melanated March to everybody. And thank you again, Berkeley Slam, and everybody for having me.
Gang, thank you.
Go,
Wow.
Go, Akilah. Go, Akilah.
Yes, give it up for Akilah. Yes. Woo. And
Damn.
is that Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion's WAP on
Yes,
vinyl in the background? Is that?
Yes, we got some
We have no choice but to stand. We have no choice but to stand. Like, no
Look.
choice. Wow. Wow. Amazing poetry, amazing taste in music. What can we say? What can we say except
We
for
love you, Keela.
thank you?
Thank you. I love you guys
Ah.
too.
So y'all see what I mean by like March about to be lit. This is how we kicking it off. We set the bar up here. You can't even see my hand. The bar so high. Wow. Let me take a breath, reset, recalibrate, because we gotta hop right into the second round. No calibration, just the vibes. Let's do it. So the poets will be reading in reverse order. So that means we have Nicole Tracy, and then we have Alex the Great. And as you can tell, I'm typing while I say this. And then we have Mai, and then we have Chardonnay. Wow. My typing skills have gotten better. The fact that I could read and type at the same time. Working in an office. Yes. And I will be posting that in the chat, just so our poets know. I had caps lock on, so your names look weird. I'm sorry. You'll see what I mean when you read it. There's nothing I could do. I mean, I could have retyped it all, but I wasn't going to. Don't bust me out like that, Chardonnay. But anyway, yeah, so we're jumping right in. Just no calibration, just vibes. Someone said I am unable to can, and I am not high. I have been up since 6 a.m. I might as well be high. Shit. No, I'm sober, which is the thing. That's the issue. Let me get 2 blunts in me and see if I run this show a little bit better. But that being said, on deck, we have Alex the Great, but give it up one last time for our first poet in the second round. Give it up for Nicole Tracy.
Hey, Nicole.
Proof you exist. A couple signatures, an official stamp from the Los Angeles County Public Records, parents' name and age, time. 4 a.m. You became your own existence, but what time did you become your own identity? 7:30 a.m. On your way to school, your mother insists she knows you better than you know yourself because she birthed you. 9:30 a.m. Oh no, I have to pick demographics to fill in on the standardized tests. 9:32. Is there a right answer? What if I choose the adjective instead of the noun? 9:33. What if I just left this one blank? 10:30. The test is over. The first question really is the hardest. 10:45. A recess with people you're supposed to have some shared identity with, but none of them look like you. 10:50. If friends are a reflection of ourselves, then this mirror is broken. 11. Another test. Math. Thank God. No chance to get adjectives and nouns mixed up. 12 p.m. Okay, so math isn't your best subject, but you'll pass. 3 p.m. Your mother reads off your test scores and posts them on the fridge. 3:01. Would my English score be higher if I knew what was a noun and what was an adjective? 3:30. If you position 2 mirrors just right, you can split yourself in 2. 3:31. What would one half of you say to the other? Would you apologize to the other you? 4 p.m. Your teammate points out you are the only one that doesn't have to spray tan to be ready for the competition this weekend. Half of you should laugh, but none of you finds it funny. 7 p.m. Family dinner, but nothing about you identifies as family. 7:30. You only just noticed TV is no place to look for representation. Where are you supposed to find it instead? 7:45 p.m. Pick up a pen and paper. Pretend you are someone else looking for a reflection that looks like them. 8 p.m. Realize adjectives modify nouns. You are a noun. 8:01. Write yourself as the noun instead of the adjective. 8:30. Share your discovery. 8:32. Your only critique. Are you sure you aren't an adjective? Forget the rest of adjective fragility. 8:40. Throw out every mirror that pretended to show you who you were. Throw every adjective mirror away. Keep the nouns. 10:30 p.m. Fall asleep pondering adjectives. Does a noun need an adjective? Google noun representation, filter out adjective interpretation of nouns. No results. 11:30. Maybe noun representation is something I have to do for myself. 2 a.m. An adjective tries to modify a noun, tries to modify my noun. 4:01 a.m. You are your own identity.
Gang, gang. Give it up for Nicole Tracy one last
Yes.
time. Boom, 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 boom. Lit. Once again, we have our GoFundMe. I know that was like a really bad segue. I just said boom and then got into fundraising. But dead ass. I mean, that's just how it is sometimes. But no, we have our GoFundMe. It is really important that, you know, if you can donate, you donate. If you can't donate, that at least you share. We are getting to the point where we can no longer like continue providing like shit for free and paying everybody and shit like that. So like just thinking about like, you know, we pay features, we pay organizers, we pay prize winners, we pay workshop facilitators, we pay for Zoom, we pay for streaming services, you know, we pay for like website, just little shit that adds up. Even a small donation, you know, really goes a long way in making sure that we can continue providing these programs for free, because we're gonna figure it out. We're gonna figure it out. But you know, it would be a lot easier if we didn't have to figure anything out, you know. It's a shame that we are not that the arts and spoken word poetry is not funded in the way that it should be, because I don't know about y'all, but I'm looking in a Zoom room full of amazingly talented, beautiful, supportive, loving people that are just basking in the radiance of community. And if you don't want to keep that alive, you are heartless. Not to make judgments on your character, but to make judgments on your character. If you don't want people to have a community of writers loving up on each other and supporting each other and creating space for each other, I mean, just, I don't know what to say, but like, I'm sorry to that man. Yeah, so we have our GoFundMe. It's going to be in our comment section. Please, if you can donate, at the very least, share it, share it, share it. The more you share it, you know, the more traction it gets. We're not all rich, but we all know somebody who is. And if we don't, we know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. So, you know, be the chain, be a link in the chain of love. Or whatever the hippies would have said in the 70s. I don't know. I am tired. I have been up since 6 a.m. So on deck, we have but give maximum love to our next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for Alex the Great.
Yay!
Alex.
Technical difficulties. There we go.
Alex!
On closure. Whilst you are home sobbing uncontrollably into your pillows, your neighbors, too enraged from the last few nights you kept them awake to even notice you were unraveling at the seams, one frayed Egyptian thread count at a time, and you choose the Kleenex over the phone. Opt not to be the adulteress again, cheating yourself out of happiness. Your lips fail apart. You do not say his name. Instead, this time, you go for the pen. You write yourself into a poem, write your life into a mantra and live again. I choose to convert my body back into a temple, no longer a juvenile's playground, the object of everyone's affection, the one that's weathered down and beat up. No one chooses to play outside in a storm. Meanwhile, cross town, The preacher raves about our most high God and all his awesome wonder. Parishioners bow down in benevolence at the altar, bringing gifts of sins cloaked in psalms. God, in his merciful kindness, chooses to give us restoration over retribution. And in all of this mind-wandering, soul-shaking prayer, we are afforded an amen. That, my friends, is closure, the very thing that seals the deal, the literal nail in the coffin, the lowering of the casket, unearthing all their possessions and giving them a new home instead of the closet, erasing the number from your phone so your mind won't even play tricks on your heart, try to speed dial a ghost. Getting voicemails from heaven just ain't the same. Closure is an intimate conversation with God. It is your shame telling you goodbye, packing up its baggage and moving on, the trash taking itself out, and you, feet propped up, sitting pretty on the couch, don't even bother to wave back. Instead, you say, don't slam my door on your way out.
Gang,
Yes.
gang, give it up for Alex the
Minister
Great.
You just said it all. You just said it all.
All right, and for reference, Nicole Tracy got a 28.5. Once again, fuck the score.
Fuck the score.
Give it up for the poetry. Yes. Lit. We are going to keep it chugging along like the little engine that could. Oh God. Oh. On deck, we have my But Give Maximum Love. Wait, no, I'm sorry. I fucked that up. See, I'm way too tired. Wow. On deck, we have Chardonnay, But Give Maximum Love to the next poet coming up on stage. Give it up for my...
Can y'all?
Yes.
Is there blood in heaven? Are the red and white stripes still around? Did the flags get thrown out yet? Do we still have to hide our oppressions? Is there blood in heaven? Will the pills still be hard to take in heaven? Will they still taste like the color orange? Will I learn to stop picking apart bottles like puzzle pieces? Stop pushing pills together like they will fix us? Not push pills down throat like they'll push puzzle pieces into serotonin? Will I still have this pain in heaven? Will I remember even then? Are there drugs in heaven? Will temptation send me to hell while I'm already gone? Will bodies be bruised the same way she was? Is there blood in heaven? Will they still unmake me in the last stall of the girls' bathroom at lunch? Will I ever escape the image of fist meeting face only ever named faggot in their eyes? Like my mind only exists to fear? Will punches still pull skin apart? Will blood still pour and blue-bodied pain still take hold of this throat? Is there blood in heaven? Will colonizers still dress up their kids as the people their fathers killed? Will it still be called Thanksgiving? Do people still blame victims? Do we still ignore trans bodies when they hit the floor? Are there guns in heaven? Do they shoot in heaven? Can you be killed in heaven? When you wake up, do you find yourself in sweat-stained sheets? Do the flashbacks still get you? Does the memory of a mother making a mockery of your body still haunt you? Do you still walk on the left side of the sidewalk just in case? Do you still feel like you take up too much space? Do construction workers still scare you for like no reason? Do the textures of certain foods still feel too similar to second grade tears? Is there blood in heaven? Will I still remember these days? Days spent untangling thumb from screen, days spent rewriting suicide note into poem, days spent protesting for my family. Did closed casket ceremony spit tears into their eyes? Did I have to have a closed casket? Did body caress sheets one last time before claiming home to be casket? Did the transphobes get me? Did the drugs get me? Did the seizures get me? It wasn't me, right? Like I didn't do this, meaning, did I win? Why does only suffering breed revolution? Are we still dying? Is hope still fighting? Am I still fighting? Thank you.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Give it up for my...
Go, Mike. Go, Mike. It's your birthday. It's your birthday.
I love that it's everyone's birthday, according to Kia. I love that.
Why they're all Pisces is beyond me.
Oof. There's nothing wrong with Pisces. I'm a fire sign, so like I'm at my weakest during water sign season, but I respect it.
Rihanna's a Pisces.
Who's a Pisces?
Rihanna.
See, I respect Pisces.
Yes.
I actually stand Pisces because I have zero water in my chart. Arvind, our God. Yes, happy birthday, Arvind.
Birthday is today.
Yeah. Yes. It's Arvind's birthday, which is why they have the day off. Because
Oh my God, happy birthday, Arvin!
yes, happy birthday, Arvin. Oh my goodness.
Happy
I love you
birthday,
so much.
Slam guy.
For those of y'all who don't know, none of this would be possible if Arvin hadn't figured out how to set this up so quickly. Like, I think we were down for 2 weeks and Arvin was like, I got this. Like, Arvin has been like just a driving force in a lot of the innovation that you see in every single area, whether it's the workshop, Patreon, like just having their hands and their ideas. Like, we really respect you, Arvin. We love you. And on top of that, you're an amazing person, an amazing Fortnite player. And I'm so glad that we are friends and that we are organizing together. So,
Not to mention world champ. You left that out.
What?
They are also a world champion poet.
But you, I mean, yeah, but like, you know, I wasn't gonna say happy birthday, congratulations on winning iWips. No, but yeah, Arvin is top. Top tier friends. Top tier friends.
I felt like I was getting shit done today, and Arvin definitely exemplifies getting shit done.
Right, absolutely. Arvind is amazing in so many different ways, like from their poetry to their integrity to just their shit talking, everything. Perfect human being right there, perfect human being. And we are so glad that they were born on this day some years ago. I'm not going to count because I failed math 3 times. So on deck, speaking of math, we find out who, Horton, here's a who, got, did I mention Alex the Great scores?
You did not.
Alex the Great got a 29.2. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poet, never the points. Okay, now that we got that, and I have my shit together, on deck we find out who is winning money. Yeah, it's a money round. There's cash. It's electronic cash, but it's still cash, and we pass it. But yeah, there is cash for first, second, and third place. So we'll be finding out who wins that. But give maximum love to your last poet of the night. Give it up for Chardonnay.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
So a white person with dreads came up to me and had me fucked up. You take up too much space to take up space for me too. You write about brutality you don't experience, as if your whiteness is erased by your queerness, or your queerness could erase your privilege. But it's not an accurate narrative if you erase your place in the pyramid as the oppressor. You don't get to speak on my oppression from any angle but the aggressor. Your fake ass revolution is colonizing my tongue with a rainbow flag and then using it to speak on whiteness without indicting yourself. But all of y'all are guilty. My hair gets called nappy, but your hair may as well be a Nazi logo that you can't see. Call it colorblindness or the erasure of Black heritage or manifesting something interesting about yourself because y'all love to take from Black culture without talking over Black people. If you were a real ally, you'd show up to protest looking like those clean-cut white folks who the police don't get caught on. You'd be on the front lines when they come with the tear gas and the rubber bullets and the tanks. You'd take the first hit so that my Black ass wouldn't have to, Or at the very least, you'd offer to pay me to educate you instead of approaching me like you deserve my words, knowledge, or presence. I get paid to teach and I don't do labor for free. But that's just like y'all. Y'all demand Black space, time, and existence, upholding systemic slavery while also denying you play a part just because you got matted hair you call dreads and write poetry on trauma you could never experience. Go fucking figure. Y'all always want to be a nigga but never want to be a nigger. Then you'd probably just end up like your hair, damaged beyond all recognition because you lack the strength or the depth it requires to embody anything Black. Thank you.
Gang, give it up for the poet. Give it up for Chardonnay. Gang, gang, gang. Lit. My got a 28.9. Fuck the scores. Give it up for the poetry, never the point. And while I am waiting for the scores, I'm going to make a few announcements. Lit. So first, if y'all remember in November for National Writing Month, we took the month off from doing shows. And we did a writing workshop series. We will be doing that again for April for National Poetry Writing Month. We are going to be having a workshop series led by different artists, as well as our annual Battle of the Ages, a partnership with a nonprofit called Bay Area Creative, pitting youth teams, college teams, adult teams against each other in friendly competition. But we'll talk more about that later in the month. You'll just save the date, I guess. I mean, I'm not giving you any dates, but make a mental note. Big shit's happening next month. But this month we have, of course, we have coming up Rich Oak Alchemy open mic. It is every first and third Saturday on Instagram Live at Rich Oak Alchemy. That is this Saturday. Tomorrow, there will be a post up about how you can sign up for that. Of course, we are here every Wednesday on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and sometimes Instagram when it's not trying to be funky. We love you, Instagram. We just, I don't think the platform loves us as much. Or at least it's not trying to be easy. It's trying to make us work for that stream. But then, as always, we also have the Oakland Slam every third Tuesday on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at the Oakland Slam, and on YouTube at youtube.com/Bay Poets Unite. I don't expect you to remember that. So if you follow us on Instagram at the Berkeley Slam, or the Oakland Slam, or Rich Oak Alchemy, either of those accounts, all of them are run by us. You can find more information on these shows and others in the Bay Area and abroad, because we have a global community now. That's so great. I'm so glad there are people visiting us from all over the world. We are definitely, when COVID is over, I mean, it's never going to be over, but when lockdown is over and we're able to do in-person shows, we're going to have to find a way to keep this online and virtual community going, because this is beautiful. Let's see, did I get, okay, I'm kind of getting the scores. The sign-up list for next week is already out. Okay, the sign-up list for next week is already out. It's in the comment section for those of you who are here. It is also on our Instagram page and Facebook page in the event. It's on our Linktree, linktree.com/Rich Oak Events. You can always sign up. And Chardonnay got a 29.2, I think. Yes. Okay. I am waiting on the rest of the scores. I have one score for one placement, but I don't have the rest. Where are my scores? Where are my scores? Where are my scores?
Where are my scores? Where are
Where?
my scores?
I feel like Patti LaBelle when she was trying to do This Christmas and she didn't have them damn background singers. Where are my background singers? That's the wrong cue card, honey. Get it up quicker, quicker, quicker. I'm frantic, but unlike her,
You just sent the scores.
You just yeah, I'm just looking at them now. Oh, that was louder than I expected. God damn. God damn it. Okay. We'll deal with that later. So in third place, winning 20 whole American dollars.
Reggie.
Yes.
Reggie.
What?
There's a tie for second place.
What?
There's a tie for second place.
What? Oh shit.
That's what I just sent you.
Oh shit. Damn it. Damn it. I hate it here. Okay, that's what that means. Okay, that's what that means. I was like really confused. Like I was saying damn it because I thought, damn it. Okay, so we have a tie for second place. I need Shar and Nicole. I'm excited. Like, you know, we get to decide what to do. I'm not excited for ties. Ties are the bane of my existence. First of all, I don't know how to tie a tie. Let's start there. I can barely tie my shoes. So ties, no. It's true. I'm always telling you ties.
I can tie a few things, but like none of them are ties.
I can tie a cherry stem in my mouth. But that's about it. But anyway, for a tie, there is
Pictures or it didn't happen.
I don't have any cherries, but you know, we all did that in high. It's not hard. It's really about whether or not you have lips. But because your tongue really doesn't do much. It's all the lips. But anyway, at least for tying the cherry stem, don't call me on nothing else.
I believe you. I believe you.
I am talking about cherries. But we have a tie for second place. So for these ties, we can do one of two things. Y'all can split. Second and third place prize for like, I think that's 25 each. Or you could duke it out in a haiku death match. I don't know why that sounded so shady. I feel like I've been
No, you're ready. You are ready.
Like, I feel like I'm instigating something, but I'm really not.
I'm really hurt because I always want to be a part of the haiku death match. And the day that there's a tie, I am tired. Like,
okay, but like, I feel that.
I am also on Team Tired, but for a different reason. So I'm good to split it.
Yes, Team Tired, 6 a.m. right here. I am 6 a.m. and 3 hours of sleep. Yes, we are living life on the edge of sanity. But yes, okay, so we have a tie for second place. Chardonnay and Nicole with a 55.9. Yes, they are splitting the prize. For those of y'all who were wondering what was going on. But that means in first place with a 56.2, give it up for Alex the Great.
Yes, go Alex, go Alex, go Alex, go Alex. It's maybe your birthday. Maybe it's like your solar return or like your Saturn return. It's okay. I know Alex will come.
I'm dead.
I love you.
So eulogize me. I am underneath the ground, right? My birthday in July. I wish it was my birthday, but yeah, maybe I'm gonna rebirth. Thank y'all for listening, and Judges being judgmental. Oh, they could.
It wasn't me.
Somebody said it wasn't me.
It wasn't me. On the bathroom floor, wasn't me.
Okay, shit.
This has been great. Thank you to everyone tonight. Thank you, Akilah. Thank you, Alex. Thank you, Chardonnay and Nicole and Mai. Thank you to our judges and our scorekeeper, our bout manager.
To Arvind.
To Arvind, happy birthday. It's God's birthday. It is our God's birthday. We literally worship Arvind. Like if you ever sign up for the slam and like join early to the Zoom, like we literally refer to them as God. It's not a joke. Arvind is, if not God, a godsend. So yes, we really appreciate Arvind. We really appreciate you sitting at home through this wacky, wild, zany ride that I have taken you on through some amazing, dope, and talented as artists. We are going to be right back here next week with whomst.
That's a good question. You should ask Prophet.
Prophet.
It's their bestie.
Prophet, isn't your best friend featuring next week? Okay. Diana Harris. There we go. I don't book features. And I don't look at the feature booking thing until like Thursday. Because if I look at it on Wednesday, I'm gonna get confused with today's feature. But we have Diana Harris.
For Diana, was in the bomb 3 years in a row.
Okay, I think what I heard was Diana won Louder Than a Bomb 3 years in a row. But that was like hella mangled and hella like it was beat up like Debo with that brick. That's all I could say.
It sounded like Jimmy blew up WandaVision.
Yeah, I mean, but don't spoil anything for people who haven't been watching. If you're watching WandaVision, I'm not plugging anything Disney, the fuck. Anyway, y'all have a great night. I've been Reggie, your host. This is the Berkeley Poetry Slam. We are here every Wednesday, same place, same time, same cool ass energy. Y'all next week.
Yeah, gang.
Thank you, everyone, for reading and sharing.
Yes. Thank you, poets.
Yeah. You can also